All right, today we're going to do a little test here for everyone. We're going to take the same amount of volume of filler, spread it onto this 20 gauge panel here, and then we're going to use a traditional block with 80 and the DSB with 80. Sanding all the filler back down to metal. Then what we're going to do is weigh the amount of dust that's there and see the efficiency of the DSB versus traditional block. All right, so we're out in our production area, the warehouse here, using the most accurate scale we got in the building. What we're going to do is take our polyester filler here and weigh equal amounts that will then spread on each side of that steel panel you saw. All right, 3114, so let's duplicate that. All right, so we'll take this then back to the studio onto the steel panel, spread it, do the sanding, and then weigh the results. So I got fresh hardener here. What we're going to do is we're going to use this spreader here as a gauge so that we're putting on the same amount of hardener onto each one. We're going to mix them up and then go ahead and try and spread them in the same area. But we know we're getting the same volume on each side because we just weighed them out. So there you go. It's we're trying to do our best to make this a fair test between everything. But it looks like we pretty much got everything off paper and spreader. So we'll go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we got our fresh tube of hardener. What we're going to do is use this small spreader so that we have as a reference here to make sure we got the same amount of hardener on each one. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to let this dry. We're not going to cut this when it's green. We're going to give it a fair shot, let this dry for about a half hour, and then come back and then start sanding. So we have the filler spread. It's been sitting on here for about half hour. We got the traditional block loaded with 80 grit and the DSB with 80 grit. We're going to go ahead and sand like we talked until we get back down to metal, remove everything, and see how much dust is left on either side of this. Cut. Right, we're all done sanding. Gonna go ahead and collect the dust, put it into our mixing cup here, see how much we got. Now we'll go ahead, use the DSB on this side, do the same thing. That took me, I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes. Probably the same thing will happen here. Can you grab the vacuum, please? All right, collect what we can here. Not very much. So we'll go ahead and weigh these two and see how close they are, see how efficient we were. So we're back here at the scale. We're going to go ahead and zero it, and then we're going to go ahead and weigh the DSB first and then traditional sanding block. That's what it is. Now we'll go ahead and weigh traditional method. Zero out. Oh. So we started with 0.3114. We ended up with 0.2832. I know where the rest of that went. On my shirt, in the air, it's probably in my hair. So that's pretty, I mean, that shows it right there. That DSB captured 99% plus of the dust. I mean, you saw it. So that pretty much tells the story right there. I mean, you saw it. Same amount of filler was set on each of these sides of the sheet. We sanded on this traditional block. We even had to change paper. The DSB ended up using the same piece of paper through the whole thing. And there's about nothing in here at all. That's how efficient this thing is. It's actually enjoyable to use. Now you can sand filler at home any time of the year. You don't have to wait till it's nice to do it outside. You don't have to worry about trash in your garage or shop with all this. Just enjoyable. Yeah, so we could have went ahead and just cheese grated this stuff off, 9 minutes after cure with some 36 grit. That's not what this is about, especially on primers or surfacers. Doing that, where you can't just grate right through them. You got to use your finer grits. We wanted to go head to head and try and do it as scientific as we could with filler and metal and sandpaper. And that's what you've seen here. You saw it weighed out evenly. We used the same paper. We blocked it. Took about the same amount of time to get back down to the bare metal. This is the results. This is what really matters here. None of this is in your lungs, on your shop, or in your project.